Pittsburgh Steelers win 44-38 in Cincinnati and move 9-3 on the season. My name is Peyton Kleppy. This is Steelers Digest. Just hit that subscribe button down below. It's really going to help me out. We got a lot to talk about today. Steelers moved to 9-3 on the season. Like I said, we look great. Russell Wilson has the second best game in his entire career. He had 414 yards, 3 touchdowns, and the Steelers, we won in Cincinnati in a shootout. It was a great game. A lot to talk about. Let's get right into it. So first of all, GP, this guy had 74 receiving yards and a touchdown. But he's got to realize this is not the Pickens show. It's Pittsburgh Steelers, and this is not his show. Every game he seems to have an outburst, and he seems to let his emotions get to him. He's only 23. Don't get me wrong, but you gotta grow up fast, like Coach Tomlin said in his post game press conference. And this guy's got to be big for us moving forward, especially with the loss of Calvin Austin, who went down with a head injury late in the game. So moving forward, this guy's got to realize this is about the team, not him. Got to give a quick shout out to T.J. Watt. He showed up when we needed him today. He had a strip sack. And, he always seems to show up when you need him. Right when you think, oh, we need T.J. Watt, we need a forced fumble, we need a change of momentum. This guy seems to show up, find the football, and make it play. He's leading the league in forced fumbles with 5. And he had 2 sacks today. And he moves to 106 sacks on his career. When Steelers drafted him, I never would have thought we would even have a 100 sack guy. At the time in 2017, Steelers didn't have any player that even had 100 sacks. And I'd always watch the Ravens and see guys like Terrell Suggs have over 100 sacks in his career and be like, man, I wish Steelers can have one of those guys. And we got one of them. TJ Watt is that guy. He showed up today and showed everybody why he still should be the number 1 pick for the NFL Defensive Player of the Year. But we'll see. This great game for him, and he really needed this. He got the monkey off his back. Past couple weeks, people were calling for him because he didn't show up in the he didn't show up with any sacks, and he didn't really have anything statistical that was going on, so people were calling for him. But this game was really big for him. He showed up when we needed him, and he showed up big time. So, Nick Herbig, you got to give a shout out to this guy too. He showed up in the absence of Alex Highsmith and had a great game. He had another sack, forced fumbles, second week in a row. He had another one against the Cleveland Browns when we lost, but this one he had big time. And he showed up again just like TJ when we needed him. People were starting to call him Baby Watt. And, he's starting to make a name for himself. This guy, he kind of makes me wonder if we should even keep Highsmith. That's kind of crazy to say, especially after we paid him a ton of money and how he showed up when TJ was hurt a few years ago. In a perfect world, we can keep all 3 of the guys, and right now they're all under contract for the next couple years. So it's just great to see the emergence of a young player, especially a young pass rusher, and just especially step up when we need him. So got to give a big shout out to him. If you look at some of his stats, there's actually Peyton Wilson. If we look at some of Nick Herbig's stats, he's got 3.5 sacks in the year. He's got 3 tackles for loss and 3 forced fumbles. But also talk about Peyton Wilson. This guy stepped up big today. This guy had a touchdown today. He recovered it after Nick Herbig forced a fumble. And these 2 guys have been playing off each other the past couple weeks, Nick Herbig and Peyton Wilson. They're 2 young guys, about the same age, 22, 23, and they're playing great. They're playing great and young players for our defense, which we needed. And Peyton Wilson, man, I love Peyton Wilson. He shares the name with me, same spelling. He's got that 41 number. I never had 41 when I played in high school, but 4 is my angel number, and 1, it's a great number. So 41, put it together. It's great. This dude's been playing lights out since we drafted him out of NC State. 6'4", made a linebacker. Can't say enough. Super great player. Super excited that we got him, and I'm super excited moving forward. I'm so excited to see how his career is about to turn out. This guy's great for our defense. He's young. He's fast. He's like a tackle machine alongside PQ. PQ didn't really have a great game today. He had some tackles, but there was a few plays today where he slipped, he fell. But, it seems like whenever PQ has a down game, Peyton Wilson will step up. Whenever Landon Roberts is not really having a great game, Peyton Wilson will step up. So, like I said, I love Peyton Wilson. It's awesome to have a player on the Steelers team that shares a name with me. Peyton's kind of a rare name, so it's cool to see that. So also shout out the Celtics. They got Peyton Pritchard. He's been playing nice, so quick shout out to him. I was a Steelers channel. Gotta give him a shout out when he needs it. So something to talk about, something to look at. Quick evaluation from this game. Joey Porter Jr. Joey Porter had a lot of penalties today, especially pass interference and holding called on him. The NFL and the refs are really starting to see that he plays just like his dad, Joey Porter Sr., how he used to play with us. They played two different positions. His dad played linebacker, and you can kind of get away with the physicality, the real hands-in-your-face mentality, but this is 2024. The NFL has changed and it drastically, and defensive players are really getting penalized whenever they're super physical, whenever they're really handsy, and we saw that today, Joey Porter Jr. had a ton of penalties on him. He was really shadowing T. Higgins throughout the whole game. Tomlin really put that on him, and he played pretty well. He locked down T. Higgins the best he could. Coach Steven called T. Higgins a goon. He's tall, out of Clemson. He's always been nice since he went to the Bengals. He's a perfect complement to Jamar Chase. And what the Steelers did today was they used Minkah Fitzpatrick to shadow Jamar Chase. So although Minkah didn't really have very much statistics, didn't have a pick, didn't have a sack, didn't have a forced fumble, he showed up in that way where he was shadowing Jamar Chase. Jamar still had a few plays, don't get me wrong, but he didn't really have that knockout punch play or a huge deep ball pass. He had a few nice catches and he had a touchdown, but nothing crazy. And JPJ was shadowing. He was one-on-one with T. Higgins throughout the game. So it's a tough matchup. He locked him down other than a few catches throughout the game. He played well, but he didn't go off. And, Joey Porter Jr.'s got to realize going forward that the NFL's got eyes on him. And they know he's a very physical corner. So moving forward, you got to realize that, hey, maybe I can't be so handsy, can't be so aggressive. He's a long guy. I believe during the game, they said his wingspan's like something ridiculous. It's like way bigger than his height. And he's a tall guy too, especially at cornerback. He's like 6'1", 6'2". So he's a very long corner. He just got to use that for his advantage and not be so handsy, not be grabbing so much, because the refs are going to see that and they're going to throw the flag always in today's NFL. The NFL is really on the offensive side nowadays, which kind of sucks. We won't really see all those big hits we saw in the early 2000s, but we'll see a lot of offensive shootouts like we had today. So that's all I got for you guys today. It's always great to see a Steelers win and Steelers dub. And moving forward, we're going to play Cleveland Browns next week. I really think we can beat them. I think we got a great chance to knock him out at home. GP is going to have a revenge game against Greg Newsome. Hopefully, he's going to have no penalties, and hopefully he's just going to have a ton of touchdowns, ton of receiving yards, and have a revenge game. So that's all I got. Here you go, Steelers. Here we go. Let's get number 7. Let's have a day. Peace out.